exactly should you spend your time when you're building your boudoir photography marketing strategy? I get this question all the time from boudoir photographers, and I get it. We need clients to pay our bills, and we want to spend our time marketing in an effective way. That way we can get back to creating the art we love. So today I'll share a huge mistake I see photographers making, as well as my 3-step marketing framework. Hey, I'm Tracy, and I help photographers stay forever booked out without the hustle. Be sure to grab my free guide outlining my 5 best tips to book clients without Facebook ads. Let's start with a mistake that I see a lot of photographers making, and what you can do to avoid this mistake. Most photographers' marketing strategy looks like this. They have a website that they use maybe 10% of the time. The rest of their marketing strategy is through Instagram, maybe a Facebook group, Facebook page, that is about it. Maybe they get some clients from their Facebook, but the majority of their marketing strategy is specifically from Instagram or some sort of social media. The question that I want to ask you is, what happens if your Instagram is taken down? How are you going to get clients if, let's say, 90% of your clients were coming from Instagram? What happens then? This is exactly why I want your marketing strategy to look so much more well-rounded. That would be events, email marketing, Google and SEO or search engine optimization. You would be getting clients from referrals. That could be client referrals or business referrals. And then, of course, social media. I know that this feels overwhelming, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Now that you know the mistake that most photographers are making in their marketing strategy, let's talk about how you can create a marketing strategy that brings clients in with ease. Let's go through my FBO or Forever Booked Out method. So this is what I call my FBO method. This is usually exclusively in my programs, but I'm giving this to you right now. So step 1 in this method is to nail down your ideal client. That means that you need to know your ideal client from front to back. You need to be able to pick her out of a crowd. I've always said that my St. Louis boudoir client, I know this person so well that I could find her walking through a crowd and tell my husband that right there is a client that I would bring into my studio, and I know that she would spend so much money. Then step 2 is to build your high converting website. That means that your website, when a lead lands on your website, they will turn into a client really quickly because your website is set up to be a conversion strategy. So they land on your website and you take them on a journey until you answer every question that they have, and then they turn into a client. They go ahead and book a session. And then step 3 is to focus on your traffic drivers. What I mean by traffic drivers is what we talked about just a few minutes ago. That is your email marketing, your social media referrals, and Google and SEO, your website, all the things that are sending clients to your website. Those are traffic drivers. So once we know who your ideal client is, have built a high converting website, all we have to do is drive traffic from these different avenues to your website. We know that your website is going to turn those leads into clients really quickly. Want to know exactly how to book out your schedule without paid ads, Facebook groups, or model calls? Then you really need to check out my free masterclass, The Booked Out Photographer. I'll link it in the description below. Okay, now let's talk about planning your marketing strategy as a boudoir photography business owner. Step 1 to planning your boudoir marketing schedule is to know what you're actually using in your marketing strategy. We've talked about it a little bit, but let's list it out. I think most boudoir photographers should do these things: a weekly blog post, a weekly email newsletter, daily social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Oh yes, TikTok. It is working for photographers, so we definitely need to add it to your arsenal. And then also networking events 1 to 2 times per month. Are you wondering how to make Instagram work for you? Check out my masterclass, Booked with Instagram. I'll link it in the show notes. Okay, now you know what to do. Let's talk about how to make this a plan for your boudoir photography business, more specifically for your blogs and your email. So 1 day per month, I like to sit out and write my blogs and my emails. I schedule the emails to go out on Sundays, but the blogs are posted as soon as they're written for SEO purposes. I also like to pin the image images that are posted to Pinterest, of course. I know choosing a blog post topic and an email topic sounds a little bit intimidating. You're probably wondering, out of all the things that you know, what is actually useful to write on a blog. The one thing that I want you to do is avoid writing client-focused blogs. Instead, I want you to write topic-focused blogs so that you're able to show up on search engines like Google. Some of these options might be like what to wear, how to prep, what to bring, an outfit guide for the current year, and there are a lot of other topics you could choose. Do you want me to do an in-depth video on how I blog as a photographer? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's look through what a blog should look like and why. So this is a blog. I want to walk you through all the important things. So first things first, it needs to have a header that is going to work really well to get you seen on Google. So outfits for your boudoir session is a huge boudoir keyword. So this right here is the main keyword in this. Then up here, you can see that the title is on the website, and then it's also here in the URL as well. Then when you scroll down, the first thing that you do is you see that I have outfits for your boudoir session right there. This specific keyword is going to be throughout this blog post several times, probably 4 to 5 times. Then you're also going to see it in the H3. So outfit for your boudoir session, outfits for your boudoir session. So I've got it several times so that we will still show up on Google. Now, the next thing that I want you to get is you can tell you are not overwhelmed with photos. As I'm scrolling through here, there are five photos total on this page. Now, a mistake that I see often is that photographers flood their blog posts with photos thinking that this is just a chance for your ideal clients to see your photos. Unfortunately, we are past the point where your work is going to speak for itself. Instead, we need our content to speak for you. So you have to really nail down your messaging for this to work. Now, what I want you to see is with this blog post, although they're getting the content, you're also going to notice that they could skim this blog post and still get everything they need out of it, because I'm talking about feel sexy in lace bodysuits, oversized sweaters, sweater selection, styling tips for that, high-waisted underwear, white sheet sets. So I'm talking about all of this. They're getting all of the information that they need just from the headers, because we're in a society where we skim things. We're not going to be able to spend all of our time here because nobody has that kind of time. So while there are going to be some of your clients who've most likely already booked a session, those clients might go ahead and read this word for word. The majority of the people are not. So we want to make sure that we're writing for Google and we're writing for your ideal clients. So those are the main points that I want you to get here. You're also going to need to do alt text on each of the photos so that it shows up in Google and on Pinterest. Those are the main things. You'll also want to have a call to action and a conclusion at the end. Now, you're probably wondering what to send in emails. I like to tie them to the blog post that I've written for the month. Remember, the more you can get these leads to your website, the more likely they are to turn into a client. Do you want to know the secret to my 10K a month photographer email sequence? Then make sure you check out this video. I'll link it in the description below. All right, let's focus on social media in your ideal boudoir marketing schedule. I already mentioned that I recommend Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, but what should you actually post? Instagram is where I've spent most of my time through the years. TikTok, on the other hand, is a place that I'm trying to gravitate towards a little bit more over the next few months. The photographers that I coach are getting great results from TikTok. So it's something that all of us as boudoir photographers or photographers in general are gonna need to add to our arsenal. So here are my recommendations. Daily posts on Facebook, you can just schedule those out. I think that Facebook is still important. You want your audience to know that you're still around. One thing that I've noticed that I do when we go to a different area is if I'm searching something, I'll search on Google, I'll look on Instagram, and then I'll go to Facebook to see the most current updates. So Facebook is still relevant. I also recommend daily posts on Instagram. I would say 3 to 4 reels per week. The other days you can do static posts, like just a picture or you can do carousels. And of course, daily stories. Stories are where the conversions happen. Now let's talk about TikTok. I would recommend 3 to 4 per week to start, and then move up to daily or multiple per day. I want you to start slower before you jump all in. I have heard that posting 3 times per day will help your algorithm, but I don't want you to just dive right in until you have created some sort of system with your TikToks, and then you can start developing more and creating more to post. But first, start slow. What's really hard about this is the more content you put out, the better. So batching is going to be your best friend. I like to plan out 1 day per week to plan out our posting schedule. And then next, for your boudoir photography marketing schedule, you need to spend time networking every single month. That could mean just meeting another business owner who serves your ideal client for coffee. It could be attending a meeting with other business owners who are in your area like BNI. Or you could even host a networking event yourself in your own studio. The most important thing is to make sure that you have a local presence so that you can grow your local network. And that's the ideal marketing schedule for a photography business owner. Make sure that you subscribe to get notified on my next video, which is called What I Don't Do in My Photography Marketing Strategy. And while you wait for that, be sure to watch this video, How to Book 3 New Clients This Week. If this was helpful, let me know and give it a like. I will see you next time.